Unit 32 by Lucy Roberts. The main components of fitness. Body composition describes the percentage of fat, bone, water and muscles that are in our bodies. Body composition, as well as our body weight, determines our leanness. Strength. Strength is the quality of being strong and able to lift heavy objects. Aerobic endurance. Aerobic endurance is dependent on the amount of oxygen you can consume and transport around your body. Muscular endurance. Muscular endurance is the ability of a muscle or a group of muscles to sustain repeated contractions against a resistance for an extended period of time. Flexibility. Flexibility is the range of motions a joint can conduct. Good flexibility is enabling yourself to complete a range of motions efficiently. The FIT principle, or formula, is a great way of motivating yourself during exercise. The acronym FITT outlines the key components used for efficient exercise. The F in FIT equals frequency, how often the participant will train. The I in FIT equals intensity, how intense the exercise will be and how hard the participant will have to train. The T equals time, the length of each training session and how long we will be spent on what kind of exercise. The other T is type. This refers to the type of training and if it relates to any other factors. Physical effects caused during exercise. Hypertrophy. This physical change involves an enlargement of an organ or tissues. This enlargement occurs due to the cells increasing in size. When they increase, the content inside the cells, like the mitochondria, will multiply to support the cell. An example of hypertrophy is in a muscle exercise like weightlifting, where the muscles will increase in size. The weightlifting causes an increased workload on the muscles, which will stimulate the cells so they can adapt to the environment. As a result, they will all increase in size. Increased muscle tone is the continuous partial contractions of the muscle. Increased muscle tone helps maintain postures, and tips of how to increase your muscle tone includes eating healthily and avoiding fats. Decreased resting heart rate. This occurs because the heart muscle has gotten stronger. A stronger heart is able to pump blood all around the body in less beats, as it requires less effort compared to a weak heart. Increased stroke volume. This physical change frequently results in lower resting heart rate. Stroke volume is the amount of blood that is pumped out the left ventricle to the body within each heartbeat. This increases as different exercises require different amounts of oxygen being pumped around the body. Some other changes that occur in the body due to exercises are lungs. The respiration muscle becomes stronger, lungs become more efficient, lungs are able to extract more oxygen from air. As for the heart muscle becomes stronger, there is an increase in the amount of blood being pumped out at each beat, there is an increase in the amount of blood being pumped out per minute, and there's a fall in resting heart rate. With blood vessels, there is an increase in number of capillaries, increase in size of blood vessels, decrease in blood pressure, increase in blood volume and red cell count, and last but not least, muscle and bone. In muscle and bone, there is an increase in number of mitochondria, and there is an increased tolerance of lactic acid, increased aerobic enzyme production, and the bone density increases. The Health and Safety at Work Act in 1974. This was created to ensure reasonable practices to ensure safety. This includes providing a safe work area, the safe use, storage and handling of dangerous substances, written health and safety policies, and maintaining a safe work environment. PARQ. The PARQ, or Physical Activity Readiness Questionnaire is a simple self-screening tool that can and should be used by anyone who is planning to start an exercise program. The aim of this questionnaire is to prevent any accidents or injuries. Some examples of what you would find within this questionnaire is: do you suffer from any major health problems that need medication? Are you diabetic? Do you smoke? If so, how many in a day? And are you pregnant? A risk assessment is a process where you identify all the hazards within an activity. I have made a simple risk assessment on the risks that you may find during running down below. How to reduce the risk. Within your risk assessment, there will be results of how to avoid risks that may occur within this exercise. However, you can also conduct a full warm-up and cool-down to reduce risks, as well as check the client before every session. You need to make sure that they have no injuries and is dressed properly for the exercise. Make sure the person conducting the session is qualified, providing a good session environment with no hazards or any faults that can cause harm, and filling out a medical questionnaire and a lifetime form will also enable you to avoid some risks. Exercise and fitness codes of ethics. This is to ensure that everyone is able to exercise under a safe environment with professional standards. Principle 1. Rights. To promote the rights that every individual can take part within training and exercise. To recognise that people should be treated as individuals and to not allow anyone to feel discriminated. This is to enable people to feel comfortable and encouraged to exercise. Principle 2. Relationships. Based on openness, honesty, mutual trust and respect, you should develop a relationship with your client. Ensure that physical contact is needed. It should be appropriate and necessary with full consent of the participant. Principle 3. Personal responsibilities. To demonstrate professional behaviour and conduct it at all times. Project an image of health, cleanliness and functional efficiency, and to display high standards in the use of language, manners and punctuality. Principle 4. Professional standards. Working towards attending a high level of competence through qualifications and commitment to ongoing training that ensures safe and correct practices. As a result, this will maximise benefits and reduce risks to the participant. Plan all sessions so that they meet the needs of the participant. Contraindication. This is something that's known to be a risk. Any factors that will prevent a person from exercising. Examples of this is blood pressure that is over 160 and 100, body fat that is 30% for men and 40% for women, diabetes, resting heart rate 100 plus, lung disorder, coronary heart disease, joint condition, angiopetesis, I can't say these, so you just might have to read the PowerPoint, blood pressure medication and blood thinner. Warm-ups. A warm-up is a small exercise that allows you to prepare for more intense exercises. The main objectives are to increase the heart rate, to increase the temperature of your body, and to mobilise the major joints of the body. Pulse raiser. Pulse raiser is an activity like running, rowing or cycling, lasts 5 to 10 minutes and should gradually increase in intensity as time goes on. Your heart rate should just be below the rate that you should be during the main session. Joint mobility. For joints like shoulders, elbows, spines, hips, knees and ankles, joints should be moved through their full range of motion. The motion will start smaller and progress to a larger range. Joint mobility is used so that joints can be lubricated. This occurs by the body releasing more synovial fluid and then warming up. Dynamic stretching. To perform this, you must copy the movements that are presented in the session. The movements will be repeated in a steady and controlled fashion, performed at sets of 10 reps and slowly speeds up in movement. Benefits are keeping the heart rate raised, activates the nervous system, and stretches the muscles for a range of motions. A cool down. A cool down is a performance to return the body to the pre-existing rate. This means that it has the opposite effect of a warm-up. The main objectives is to return the heart to its resting rate, get rid of any waste products, and return the muscles to their original pre-exercise length. Preventing venomous pooling is also another aim. The aim is to lower the heart rate and make waste products like CO2 and lactic acid wash out. Cool down examples. Lowering the heart rate, you can do this by choosing an exercise that involves rhythmical movements. The intensity should start high and slowly reduce so that your heart rate can drop. An example of this is biking. The exercise should last 5 minutes, and at the end your heart rate should be in between 100 and 110 BPM. Maintaining stretches. 2 types of stretches are used for maintaining and development. This eliminates waste products and prevents DOMS. Stretching enables your muscles to return to their pre-existing states. This has been Lucy Roberts, and thank you for listening.